Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I got another deck profile for you guys, and it's going to be an update to my Predaplant deck. So it's been a while since I've updated this. I actually took this to a non-meta local tournament on Sunday, and I got second place with it, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, this deck obviously has gotten their Link Monster over the last few months, even though that Link Monster's been used in almost everything else right now. But regardless, it is still Link Monster for Predaplants, and also they've also gotten some semi-different support over the last few months as well, like from the Legendary Duelist pack that came out that one time as well. So that came out with their new spell and a couple new monsters and everything. So other than that, this is just gonna be an update to the deck. I'm trying to make this as competitive as it can. So there might be some cards that are used a lot in the metagame right now, and they actually kind of work pretty well in this deck in a way. So yeah, other than that, let's just get right into it. So to start off, we got ourselves 3 Orpheus Scorpio. This is your main Stratos of the deck. If you're interested in this, if he has no more specials, you can send a monster from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon a Predaplant monster from your deck, except himself. So, and it's hard once per turn. Really good. Tours out every Predaplant in your deck, and it's just, you know, obviously you need to run it. And there's not much needs to be said about him. And next is 2 Cobra. Now I know a lot of builds only run 1 of these, but I run 2 personally just because I'm bad at like luck and everything, and I almost always open one of them for some reason. So in testing, I decided just to throw in the second one, and it just worked just fine. Its effect, being able to add a Polymerization spell or fusion spell, is hard once per duel, so you can only use it once. So once you use it, it's pretty much like that's it pretty much. You're only using it once. But yeah, I run 2 just because I don't want it to like open the 1 and then not be able to combo off, so that's why I run 2 in this build. And you could cut it to 1 though if you want, just for preference, but personally I just run 2 just because I'm bad at luck in general. So but yeah, other than that, let's get continuing. We are continuing on into Predaplant Kalmai Sundu. This is a pretty decent one. Basically with him, monsters with Predator counter that you use as fusion materials are treated as dark. During your main phase, you can fuse summon 1 dark fusion monster from your extra deck using this card on the field, and monsters in your hand, field, and or monsters with a Predator counter on your opponent controls as materials, and you can only use it once per turn. So really good. Just another, like, kind of just like another extra copy of Poly in a way, and it's just nice, yeah, being able to like pretty much climb, like fusion climb, like for example, or just get into a fusion if you don't have Poly in your hand, which is nice. And the cool thing is it is able to use your opponent's monsters as well, which I really like. And yeah, it's just really cool. One of my favorite Predaplants, honestly, other than Scorpio. And then now on to other monsters. So that was it for the Predaplant monsters that I run. So now on to the other ones. Other like support monsters, triple Lone Fire. Lone Fire obviously gets into your Scorpio, gets into your Kalmai Sundu, and yeah, just really good. Now we're on to some other monsters. Some of these might make you confused. So 3 Adhara and then 3 Cock-a-doodle-doo. These are here strictly for Needle Fiber, because this deck needs like other ways of being able to, like, you know, get a substantial board out going first, or else it just doesn't really do anything, like, or else it just like doesn't really do much going first. So having Tenyi Spirit, Adhara, and Cock-a-doodle-doo help because they are just free monsters you can get out on the opening turn, and then they just fodder for the Needle Fiber and everything. So that's pretty much why they're here. It's just free fodder for Needle Fiber, and they actually just fit real nice in this deck. At the end of the video, I'll be showing you a combo that pretty much gives you a better idea of why these are in here. So we'll get to that later. But yeah, 3 of each, really nice, because if you open one of them, it gives you a good chance of opening one of them and being able to combo off and stuff. So really nice. And then next, 1 Spore, because it's a plant tuner. So another way of getting into Needle Fiber, and it's just all around a very versatile card. Plague Spreader, the thing you want to bring out off of Needle Fiber most of the time, and it's just a great way of recovering itself, and also it is a dark, so you can use it for fusion plays as well. And then next, one edge-up saw and wedge edge-up chain. Now you're probably, again, wondering why are these in here. Mostly because you do run patchwork in this deck. You do want to run Fight for Patchwork because it does give you access to poly a lot of the time. So what you do is you add one of these off of the Fight for Patchwork. Mostly you want to add off the sabers because chain just searches another patchwork, and patchwork's like hard once a return. So you usually want to add the sabers off of the patchwork, but these are just like free discard fodder off of Scorpio as well. If you if you send the chain, you're gonna get a patchwork at the end of it, which will then get you a poly. If you send the sabers, it's just another way. It just is live always in the graveyard because you have a card in your hand most of the time. So really good. These are just free discard fodder for Scorpio, and they just are needed because you do run patchwork, which does get you into more polys. And then next, I do run the Danger Engine, usually just the good ones. One Nessie, one Such, and then one Jackalope. Yeah, these are just free monsters to get on the board, to get out your Anaconda and everything, and they're just, they help with consistency because if they're summoned, they draw you a card. So really good. And they're dark as well because they're all dark, so that means they're free fusion fodder as well. So really good. And then for the last two monsters, I do run the one Red Eyes and then the one Dark Magician. You're probably groaning because they're like, oh, he's running Dragoon, really? Well, you run the Predaplant Link by default anyway, so you might as well run these for the Red Eyes Fusion because Dragoon's just that good of a card. If you don't have Dragoon, then obviously don't run these. Play something else. But since I have Dragoon and the fact that we're running the Link monster by default anyway, because this is a Predaplant deck, you might as well throw them in because they're just that good. This Dragoon's just that good of a card. And that's it for monsters. Now into spells. 2 Predapractice. Now you're probably wondering what this is. This is one of their newer spells that came out of the Bakura set, I believe, and this pretty much does special summon a Predaplant monster from your hand, then add a Predap card from your deck to your hand, except Predapractice. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters. The restriction that is kind of annoying, which is why you want to activate this at the very end of your combo if you have Anaconda out, because then you'll be able to still get your Dragoon out at the end of that, at the end of the turn. So yeah, it's really good. It's extender, helps you search out some other Predap cards and everything, and it's just really good. So you even search out your monsters as well because they are technically Predap cards. So that's really good. And then next, one Predapruning. This is kind of like a Monster Reborn for Predaplants, just another thing for combo extension. And then next, 2 Super Poly. You don't run. I don't run 3. You could run 3, but personally, I think 2 is just fine. You side the third one anyway, and you can use these off of your Anaconda and everything like that. So I really like it at 2. If you want to bump up to 3, you can. But Super Poly, just a great card, being able to break boards and stuff, and this just helps the deck going second as well. And then next, your 2 Polymerization, pretty self-explanatory. This is a fusion deck. And then your 2 Fight for Patchworks, which can help get out your Polymerizations from the deck and just get them back into your hand and everything, which is really nice for consistency. And then 1 Ultra Polymerization. This is one of the main combo things you want to bring off of Cobra and everything during your opening turn. Basically with this, you pay 2,000 life. Fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck using 2 monsters you control as fusion materials. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target a fusion monster that was special summoned with this card's effect. Special summon all fusion materials used for its summon from the graveyard, but change their attack and defense to 0. Also, they have their effects negated. So really good. Basically with this, you would bring this off the Cobra. You then play it, go into one of your Predaplant fusion monsters, then banish this, bring back the 2 materials you just used, and then use them for link plays, like going into your Anaconda, or go into, if you have a tuner on the board, go into your Needle Fiber and just combo off from there. So really good card. I really like it. It's just great combo starter for the deck. And then next, 1 Refusion. This is just a recovery card that you can search off of your Clemite Desluno, for example. And it's just overall really good. You pay 800, and then you target a fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it, equip it with this card. When this card is destroyed, banish the equipped monster. So really good. Just another revival card, and yeah, just self-explanatory. And then the 1 Red Eyes Fusion, obviously for Dragoon, so not much needs to be said about that. 1 Instant Fusion, because it's just really nice in this deck. You have Mud Dragon, you have Theseus in this deck, so really nice. And you can use it again for the Anaconda or search it off of the Cobra, which is good. And then the one Call by the Grave, because it's at 1, and hand traps kind of ruin this deck's day in a way. And then the one Monster Reborn, just because it's another recovery card and just another extender. And that's it for the main deck. So that's 40 cards. And now on to the extra deck. One Verte Anaconda. Obviously, because this is a Predaplant deck, so you're actually going to want to run the actual Link monster intended for it. And yeah, it's really, really good. It's kind of refreshing, honestly, playing this in the actual deck it was tried to be made for, but yeah, it's just not much needs to be said about it. And I have been able to use the first effect a couple times to actually use the Super Poly, which is kind of hilarious. So yeah, really, really good card. Not much needs to be said about it. Just always run it in the Predaplant focus deck. Next, one Aroma Seraphy Jasmine, kind of a combo extender and a combo like fixer in a way. Sometimes this is good if you don't have a tuner. You can go into this and then send a monster that it points to the graveyard, and then or tribute, my bad, and then bring out your Spore from the grave or from the deck, I mean, and then you just go into Needle Fiber and combo again. So it's really, really good. I really like it. It's just a good way of fixing your combos and just another like kind of pseudo extender in a way, or a play starter, so I really like it. And then the one Halky Fibrax, self-explanatory because we have tuners in this deck, and then the one Link Cross, these just gave you so much advantage, and they are surprisingly still legal. I don't know how they are, but hey, they're legal, so we're gonna abuse them, so not much needs to be said about that. And then the one Marshmallow Marcher because of the tokens, and then the one Herald gives you a free negate, self-explanatory. And then the last synchro is the one Muddy Mud Dragon. Really cool card. I really like it. So basically with this, this card can be used as a substitute for any one fusion material whose name is specifically listed on the fusion monster card, but the other fusion monster or monsters must be correct. We're going to be ignoring that because we don't really care about that, but the second effect is what we care about. During your main phase, if you control this synchro summon card, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion material, including this card. So it's another poly, so in a way, so it's really cool. And yeah, I like it because you can like use it as another polymerization technically, and like fuse itself and one other monster to go into another fusion, which is really nice. So I really like it. I think it's a cute little tech, and yeah, I think it's really good, and it's kind of an interesting card. And then next on to the fusions. One Polymerization, because this is a one of your main things you want to go into your open combo and everything, and just a good way of also searching out more fusion spells, which is great, and is overall a pretty decent card. And then the one Dragocepedia, a good super poly target, and also a good card in general, being able to give you a monster negate. One Triff, mostly for a super poly target, but it's also good at negating summons. One Starving Venom, super poly. Greedy Venom, kind of a thing you can like piggyback into, which is good, and it's overall a decent card as well. Then Sea Monster Theseus, another way of making your Needle Fiber, and it is a instant fusion target, so really good. Same goes for Mud Dragon. Mud Dragon's not really like is also good at protecting your stuff. If you can change it to dark, and then your opponent cannot target your monsters with card effects, which is nice. And then the last card in the extra deck is the one Dragoon, because Dragoon's good and it's pretty much free in this deck. So yeah. So yeah, that's it for the list. Now let's pack everything up here, and I'll show you the 3-card combo that is pretty much the main combo for this deck. Alright, so we're here now for the 3-card combo. That's pretty much the main combo in this deck. Basically, it's going to showcasing Scorpio plus Edhara and a Patchwork with 2... these cards could be anything at this point, but this is the main 3 cards we're going to be using. So we're going to start off by using your Edhara to special itself, because you control no effect monsters on the field. I'll put these 2 cards over here because they are not really important. We will then play down our Patchwork to search us out our Polymerization and our Egypt Sabers. We will then normal summon our Scorpio, use his effect, pitch the Sabers to special summon out our Cobra. Cobra will then activate to add us our Ultra Polymerization. We will now play the Ultra Polymerization, pay 2,000 to fuse these 2 off to go into our Chimeraflasia. We will then use Ultra Polymerization secondary effect, banishing itself, targeting the Chimeraflasias to special summon back our Scorpio and our Cobra. Now that we've done this, we can now combo off, so now we will link these two off to go into our needle fiber. Needle fiber will then activate to bring us out our plague spreader. And like I said, the Adhara could be also cock-a-doodle-doo in this combo, but we're just gonna, this is just used for example. We'll then link this away to go into our link cross. Link cross will give us 2 tokens at this point, but we're just not gonna, we'll just say they're here and here. Link 1 token away to go into, or synchro off the place bar, and then our token to go into our Meta Marcher. Meta Marcher will then activate, bring back a tuner. We'll just bring back the Adhara for example purposes. Then we'll use this and the other token to go into our Herald. Go into our Herald of the Arclight. It is then at this point we will use these to go into our Anaconda. Go into the Anaconda, and then we will use Polymerization, fusing these 2 away, to go into our Dragostapelia. And then at the very end here, we'll now use our Anaconda to send the Red Eyes Fusion to the graveyard, banishing the Dark Vision and the Red Eyes because they are going from, because of Herald being on the field. And then that'll bring us into our Dragoon, and just like that, we have pretty much, and we still have 2 cards in our hand. So with with that, we got a monster negate, 2 Omni negates, and obviously the 1 Predaplant Anaconda on the field. So yeah, that is the main combo for this deck. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video regardless. Really cool, this deck's really fun, and yeah, I got 2nd place at a non-meta tournament at Locals on Sunday, so it was really fun. And yeah, overall this deck is pretty cool. Being able to incorporate Needle Fiber and Dragoon as well is pretty much free in this deck, and just overall really good. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, definitely subscribe. We'll see you guys next video. Have a nice day.